Greetings of the day to everyone, my dear friends. Happy morning everyone. Hope you all are doing well. So I cordially invite you all to the beautiful session, video lesson on social psychology and health from the course Social Psychology. So just before bumping into the content, let me introduce myself. This is Harishini Srinivasan, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivagasi. So the talk of today will be social psychology and health, wherein we are going to learn about the intersection of behavior and well-being. So let's get started. So moving ahead, I just wanted to discuss the agenda with you all today. So we'll be starting with the introduction, like how social psychology and health are interrelated. Then we'll be moving ahead with the key concepts in social psychology, which we should actually know. It's because it's a fundamental thing to know the basic concepts before understanding the relationship between social psychology and health. Then we'll be learning about the impact of social factors on health. So the impact is nothing but the outcome of social factors on health. So that is what the topic talks about. Then we are going to learn about the role of social support. So social support is something which everyone needs, and this social support has a lot to do with the health and well-being of human beings. Then we'll be discussing about the social influence on health behaviors. So what's health behavior? A health behavior is something which we do to protect and enhance our health and well-being. And then last, I'll be discussing a case study wherein the relationship between social psychology and health will be beautifully portrayed. Then finally, we'll be summarizing all the things together, which will help you in giving a good clarity about the content which we have discussed today. So let's get started. So let's talk about the introduction. That's what's the relationship between social psychology and health. You all know about psychology, right? So what's psychology? That's an interesting word, and yes, very true, it's an interesting subject to study as well. So we all know psychology is nothing but the study of human mind and behavior. So human mind is enormous. No one can just predict the human behavior. It's very complex, right? So we all know that psychology is the study of human feeling, thoughts, emotions and behavior. So have you heard about this term called social psychology? So what is it? What's social? So we know social is nothing but the society, the human beings, the interpersonal relationships which we have, right? So that's the term called social. So what is social psychology then? Interrelatable? Yes. So that study of the human thoughts, feelings, actions and behavior in the presence or absence of other human beings is what we call as social psychology. So now, how do you think social psychology is relevant to health? So what's health? Do you think being healthy and being physically good and physically building up your arms, is that a good health? Yes, I agree, but that's not alone a good health. So good health signifies good physical, mental and emotional health, wherein you have a very good mind, body, soul alignment, right? So now, how is social psychology related to health? So the first thing is, social psychology will help you in understanding how the social perceptions, attitudes and societal expectations impact the health and well-being of the human beings, and most importantly, by doing this, it also helps us in preventing major chronic lifestyle illnesses and helps us in managing the health outcomes and also enhancing the overall well-being of the human community. So this is how social psychology is relevant to health. So moving ahead, let's talk about the key concepts in social psychology. So it's very important to know what are all the basic concepts so that we can understand the relationship better. So let me start with the word called social influence. So influence has become a very trending word today. It's because everything is being influenced today, right? So what's social influence? So social influence is nothing but we actually change our thoughts, actions, behaviors or emotions according to others, or depending upon the people's opinions, we actually get influenced and we change our behavior and thoughts accordingly. So this is what we call social influence. And next we have a term called group dynamics. So what's group dynamics? a group is nothing but a collection, a cluster of people, right? So group dynamics is nothing but how you change your behavior, your thoughts, your actions according to the standards of the group in which you are in. So that's what we call group dynamics. And next we have attitude change. So we have this term called attitude, right? So what's attitude? Attitude is nothing but your cognitive ability, your thoughts, how you think, how you perceive something. So that's attitude. So once you change your cognitive abilities, you change your cognitive thinking according to the expectations of others or to the presence or absence of others, that's what we call as an attitude change, correct? And then we will be talking about the impact of social factors on health. So here comes the main thing. So what are the social factors basically? So we have n number of factors which are actually playing a crucial part in maintaining the health of a human being. So what are the important social factors? So there are 5 in number which are very important. So the first thing is socio-economic status, and next we have social policies, then we have social inequality, cultural norms and family dynamics. So talking about the socio-economic status, we know very well that's nothing but the income, right? The income of a family. So first thing, if the family has a reasonable income, a good quality education and a safe occupation for working, obviously the health standards of that family will be good, because once that person gets a good income, he'll have a good contribution or a good access to the healthcare facilities, right? So this is the socio-economic status. Next we have social policies. We have the beautiful government of India which is proposing many new social policies wherein the poor, the rich, the privileged and the underprivileged people should get equal access to healthcare facilities, which is really very important, right? So social policies play a bigger impact in the health sector. And next we have social inequality. So this is what I talked about, that is the privileged, underprivileged, the black, the white, the poor, the rich, all the people should have equal access to good healthcare facilities, because at the end of the day everyone deserves to be happy and healthy, right? So social equality should be practiced. And next we have cultural norms. So culture is a wide sector which gets differed from each and every state, each and every country as well. So depending upon the beliefs and norms that which are followed in that particular culture, it impacts the health of that community in a larger way. And finally we have family dynamics. So family dynamics is nothing but the functioning unit of the family, that is how the members of the family are, how are their attitudes, how are their beliefs, like on what core belief is that family functioning. So that's what we call family dynamics. So depending upon the family dynamics also, health gets varied accordingly. And next we have social support. So social support is something which each and every human being in this world needs, because once someone supports us in a very good way, we feel very strong, right? So we feel like we are at the top of the world, because when someone supports us, we think that we can do it, and that's true. So talking about social support, there are 4 different kinds of social support. That's emotional support, informational support, instructional support and appraisal support. So talking about emotional support, that's nothing but you care and you understand the emotions of that particular person. It's because when someone is ill, someone's health is at stake, that person would go through a roller coaster of emotions. But when you emotionally support them, you give them care, you empathize with them, right? Which creates a very good impact in the person who is ill. And next we have informational support. So informational support is nothing but you guide that particular person with the information which they need as of now. So when a family is going through an illness, when a particular person in a family is ill, so they'll be having no proper information. So when we give them the information which they need, when we guide them to the doctors or when we guide them through the treatment, that's what we call informational support. And next we have instrumental support. So instrumental support is nothing but you help them via an instrument. You give them a physical aid or you help them in financial aid. So you're just instrumenting them with support. So that's instrumental support. And finally we have appraisal support. So appraisal is nothing but giving them a feedback. So you help them with the coping strategies. So that's what we call appraisal support, because when someone gives us a constructive feedback, it will be really very helpful for us to enhance the dimension of health. So that's appraisal support. So on the whole, social support is something which is really very important in maintaining the health and well-being of an individual. Next, moving ahead with social influence on health behavior, these are the factors which we have discussed in the previous slide. So the first thing is social norms, which are nothing but the beliefs, values and attitudes of a particular culture. So once a thing is considered right in that particular culture, people will do it, right? But if one such principle is considered wrong in that particular culture, people won't do it. They'll be scared because of the fear of criticism, right? So the social norms that is being followed in that particular culture matters a lot. And next we have peer pressure. So peers are nothing but our friends, our co-workers with whom we do the work. They are our peers, right? So sometimes because of peer pressure also, our health sector might get affected. And next we have family influence, which we talked about family dynamics, right? That is whether the family is functional or dysfunctional, what kind of values and attitudes are being followed in that particular family. So that things will be followed the same in health as well, right? And then next we have social support, which is particularly essential for each and every human being, because once we support someone and when that comes from a social setting, that particular individual's health is at a gooder position, right? And next we have media. So nowadays media is something which has been very influential, and we have the title called social media influencers, right? It's because when something becomes trendy or viral in the media, that's done. Everyone will be following the same, right? So social media, that's media and advertising, also has a greater impact in the health sector, because once a particular thing is portrayed as a good health behavior in an ad or in a media setting, that becomes viral and all the people will start following the same. So media is a crucial influencer in the health sector. Fine. And then now I am here with a case study. So I just wanted to discuss a case with you wherein it beautifully investigates the relationship between social psychology and health. So let me talk about Sarah, who is a 35-year-old woman. So she has been struggling with obesity for many long years, and she has tried every remedy, and she is so desperate in losing weight. Because of obesity, she started feeling very lonely and she developed poor self-esteem, and this was bothering her very much. So despite trying different methods, different diet plans, different exercises, she was not able to lose weight. And so finally she planned to just join a program wherein all the people will come together. This happens in a social setting, and she was more interested in group activities. So she started to join in a weight loss program that's happening in a social setting. So let's see what are all the interventions that was planned for Sarah. So the interventions that were designed for Sarah were quite interesting. So first they started with an online educational program. So what happened was, she was given the awareness about obesity, because when someone has to do something, they must have the awareness about what they are doing, right? So educational programs were organized for her, wherein she was educated about obesity and why this is happening and what are all the potential pros and cons of this particular condition and how she can overcome the same. So it was a complete awareness educational program which was happening in an online setting, which was very influential and which was very convenient for her as well. And then they had consistent group meetings. So according to me, when we learn together in a group, or in a group when various opinions have been discussed, what happens is we tend to think more rather than an individual setup. So when group meetings are being organized, Sarah started observing each and every one, like what they were going through and how they are struggling and fighting the same scenario and how they are winning their challenges and so on. So by this method, observational learning is being done, which created a very big impact in her thoughts and also in her self-esteem, right? And next there was this beautiful system called buddy system. So who is our buddy? Our buddy is nothing but our friend, right? So in this case, two buddies are paired up together in a group wherein two members will be joining together and they'll be working together for their goals. So what happens is, when I have a buddy, obviously my buddy will motivate me and I will motivate my buddy, because both of us are working for the same cause, and when we do it together, we'll get a beautiful motivational feeling which will help us to do more. So a buddy system was also followed. So in this way, these are all the interventions that were planned for Sarah, which helped her a lot in treating her obesity and moving towards weight loss. So in this case, social support is being given, which is an emotional support, informational support, instrumental support, and also appraisal support, which is being given by her gym coaches or by the people with whom she was traveling. And next, social learning, which is nothing but the observational learning. So we talked that, right? It's because when group meetings are being organized, what happens is Sarah was consistently observing the changes. She was noticing the beautiful shift, how different people were transforming their lives. So that was a big chain breaker for her. And also social comparison was happening, because when everyone was following a buddy system, what happens is they would see the comparative changes between the people over there, so which helped her a lot in moving forward. So these interventions together helped Sarah in moving towards her goal of weight loss, and she was also feeling so confident about herself. And then finally, talking about the outcomes of Sarah's weight loss journey, which beautifully implies us the relationship between social psychology and health. It's because we talked that health is not only having a good, perfect physical body. So health is nothing but a state of good physical, mental, social and emotional well-being. So all the dimensions of life, your mind, body and soul should be in perfect alignment. That's when we achieve perfect ideal health, and in that the role of social psychology is very crucial. So once Sarah undergoes this cycle, what are all the outcomes? And they were amazing. So the first outcome is increased self-esteem. Yes, she did it, right? It's because she processed a lot of things through her body and also through her mind. It's because now she has a very good enhanced self-confidence that she can do things with the social support and with the beautiful emotional support given from the society and also from the social beings. So increased self-esteem, and this led to the enhanced version of herself. And next, she has a very good improved awareness about herself now, because she now has a good evaluation of her strengths and weaknesses, because she has been through a very tough time and she processed each and everything with the concepts of social psychology, which helped her in achieving the same. And next, she has healthy interpersonal relationships. It's because by the concepts of social psychology like group dynamics, family dynamics, this helped her in improving her interpersonal relationships a lot, and also her good communication skills were observed. And finally, the day is done. She achieved her optimum body weight. Yes, she had a successful weight loss, and she understood the importance of nutrition, which is the most important mode of nourishment for the body and also for ourselves. So on the whole, these are all the outcomes of Sarah's weight loss journey, which implies us the relationship between social psychology and health. So with that, we are done with the topic for today. So let me summarize what and all we have discussed today. So we started with what is social psychology, and we discussed how social psychology and health are related. So it is nothing but by applying the concepts of social psychology, we can treat chronic lifestyle illnesses, and we can help in improving the individuality and well-being of the human community. And then we talked about the 5 important social factors, which is nothing but the social economic status, social inequality, social norms, cultural norms, family dynamics, right? And we discussed a case study, that is Sarah's journey in obesity, wherein she went through the cycle of weight loss and how it impacted her psychologically. So always remember, mind and body are related. Mind your mind or it will never mind you. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Hope you understood everything, and have a good day everyone. Thank you.